Hi. Well, Christmas is almost upon us, or at least approaching fast, and as we're trimming the tree, I thought it would make a good background and a nice change of pace for today's video blog entry. Today on Emerging Ed Tech, we're sharing blended learning resources. In the last few years, blended learning is one of the education technology ideas that seems to be gaining much more widespread acceptance than some others. It's been particularly interesting to me as an advocate of flipped teaching that the media, while they've been covering the flipped classroom and it's really been getting a lot more attention and growing and evolving, there also seems to be this desire to kind of paint it as a right or wrong sort of thing, which is a little odd considering flipped teaching is really just a form of blended learning, and blended learning has been accepted on a much more wide scale level. It's helped that there have been quite a few studies in the last few years that have shown that this balance of online and face-to-face learning seems to be kind of an optimal delivery method. So anyway, I went out and culled a lot of resources, and I wanted to share resources that could be useful to those just starting to learn about the blended learning and also those who've had some experience, as well as to scale up and down. So if you're just a teacher looking to learn a little bit more about this, or an administrator, or somebody who might even be thinking about this on a wide scale level, a school district, for example, then there's some great resources here to help you learn more. So I think there's something here for everyone, and let's go ahead and take a look at this week's blog post. And here we have this week's blog post, 7 excellent free blended learning resources, understanding the whys and hows of mixed mode instruction. I put together a nice little tag cloud about blended learning that anyone is free to borrow and share. Of course, it's always nice when you credit the creator when you do that. And here's our first resource, the Blended Learning Implementation Guide, version 2.0 from the Foundation for Excellence in Education. I put the link to the resource out there. It's a PDF, and it takes the reader through a progression that starts from creating conditions for success and then works through planning, implementation, and then finally how do you improve what you've done. And for each of these resources, I've shared some type of insight or some little reference from it just as an additional bit of information and something to maybe pique your interest. Our next resource is a video that was created to promote the aforementioned PDF, but it really stands alone as its own piece of content. It's a great video, a great introduction, and as well as a piece to encourage the consideration of blended learning within your school and within your classroom. So I highly recommend checking that out. Next, we have a PDF that is available, a white paper that is available from blendedinstruction.net. You do have to give up an email address to get this, but they do a real good job. And again, a little piece here just to kind of get you interested in some of the insights they have. They talk about, what blended learning is not and what it is. And again, just a little bit of content from the resource to give you a little bit of sense of the types of things you might learn from it. Fourth, we have the Blended Learning Toolkit from the University of Central Florida. Great set of tools here organized into sub-menus. A lot of different ideas here, organized around process. There's some model courses they discuss, effective practices, evaluation resources, which can certainly be very helpful. They also have this Blend Kit course. There's a section for faculty development that seems geared primarily towards University of Central Florida faculty, and they're the ones that put this out. But there's this Blend Kit course that looks like it's open to everyone. I've signed up myself for the next email that comes out to say when they're doing it in 2014, and I may be checking that out myself. Fifth, we have 37 blended learning resources you can use tomorrow from TeachThought. So a practical set of resources grouped by free courseware, free online texts, free video resources, and then it talks about how, when you have the ability to make these or find these tools, digital tools, or make your own digital content, then you kind of need to bring it together or sort of remix it in their vernacular. And they provide a bunch of resources around that and some insights into each of them. Sixth, we have blended learning resources from the Donald Key Foundation, and those are grouped also into sections. So they have what is blended learning, site visits and case studies, digital systems and digital content, They have content around staffing, around cost, around hardware and infrastructure, and some blended learning blogs to check to learn out more. So great set of resources there. And then last, I wanted to include the EDUCAUSE blended learning page. EDUCAUSE is one of, if not the premier website and magazine focused on, an organization. They do a lot focused on technology in higher education. Most of you are probably familiar with it already. And they've got a blended learning page where they've got staff-picked articles on the topics. And then if you click this library items button, it'll go out and search for a bunch of content from across EDUCAUSE about blended learning. So just another good resource. And I hope you have as a productive and enjoyable time as I did exploring these resources. And if you have resources you'd like to share, we'd love to have you comment, or if you have observations about these resources or about blended learning in general, please come on out and share it. And thank you very much.